Hi, my name is Larry, and I am the developer for The Curse of Grimsey Island. And in this video, I thought I would kind of go through some of the process, as a developer commentary, and just share some thoughts and things. And so yeah, let's just jump right in. And right off the bat, something that is in this version of the game that has, I believe, always been in the game for the past 2 years is, a tablet in the beginning to kind of have some world building to set the tone. And if you, go over to the menu, the tablet gets put away, and in the background there is the actual nanodeck. And this is, you can see LOD, the land, air, and water drone kind of floating there. And this is sort of a screen of LOD, and that's basically what that's supposed to convey. So let's jump in.
Good to meet you, Investigator. I will see you out there in the nanotech.
Good to have you on board. I'll be helping you remotely with all of your pathology needs. Good luck.
All right. So it's gathering data from the real scene in the real world. So if you can imagine all these drones sort of being sent out over, Grimsey Island in Iceland, and all of that data is being sent back to the nanodeck to be reconstructed. And that's sort of the foundation of the game. It's to recreate a crime scene to allow no contamination or anything like that, so it's completely safe for investigating. All right, so this is the future. It's 2075. Gunshots were detected by the lighthouse, and our job is to inspect the lighthouse and see what we can find. So one thing that might be worth sharing is that in the first version of the game, there is actually a first-person element to it. So let's take a look at this. So, and I'll get back to that. So you're piloting LOD. It's a highly capable investigation drone. You can toggle the time of day. I have the HUD disabled, so let me enable that here. So there's a flashlight. You can scan, grip, mind map, and place markers, and I'll kind of go over some of this. And so it's telling us to start the investigation. So right off the bat, let's activate the HUD. And the reason why that there's an option for the HUD is not only for like immersion, but for capturing, images or video or whatever. Sometimes you don't want to have the icons show up. So there we go. We have, the icons. But what I was mentioning earlier is that in the first iteration of the game, there was two parts to it. There was a first-person part where you could, sort of walk around and even jump in the water, and you would have a drone, kind of your counterpart there that you could, interact with and control and fly around and, solve or attempt to solve the case, using two methods of travel. And over time, based on, player feedback and just talking with people who played the game and all that, it was a little bit confusing when I got to see that firsthand at a convention, when I saw when I watched some people play the game. So about a year ago, I decided to simplify it and try to go for something unique, which is to just use LOD. So this section here, this is the nanodeck. This is actually where we were, when the game starts. And yeah, this is basically how to finish the game here. And if, you know, we interact with that, yeah, it's telling us how to use the grip. You can see that there are 4 basically cases in the game to solve. Alright, so we move away from that. This large nanodeck reveals itself and it renders the outside world, and, you know, if we get close to the edge, it shows us the boundary. So it's sort of, you know, an immersive recreation. And something that I actually wanted to focus on for this game, so I actually started working on this at the end of making Forest Grove with Matt, you know, the game before this. You know, I was thinking of like, oh, it'd be so cool to have, you know, a detective type of game, an investigation game that, you know, took place in water, in the ocean. That's, you know, a very difficult thing to, you know, to tackle, you know, especially nowadays. And so that was sort of the catalyst of going with, you know, an ocean and having, you know, a case that, you know, takes place, you know, in the ocean. And so, you know, I kind of prototyped, you know, a layout and or a scene, and I sent it to Matt, and he thought it was cool. And then, you know, just started to write the, you know, the story of what that would be. So I'm getting away from the game. I'm starting to just ramble, so let's play it. So right now, I enabled the scan, and it allows us to see, you know, the environment wherever we're at, and it helps us find things to interact with, you know. So we could start here, or we can go here to the lighthouse, which is what we're instructed to do, so we'll do that. Alright, I'll enter this lighthouse. Use your mind map to listen to communication. So yeah, you have 2 characters, Helga and Johan, who are there to assist you during your investigation, just to sort of help you to connect you to the real world outside of the nanodeck, basically. So now this is the mind map screen, and it's kind of walking us through the purpose of the mind map screen. So the screen, and it's a way to look at the game world, or the crime scene. It's a way to look at the crime scene from a bird's eye view, and you can explore, find things, and see how things are linked, you know, even before inspecting them. And, you know, so one thing I wanted to do different in this game versus Forest Grove is to think about the material, the surface materials for objects that you know, are to be investigated. So forensics type of stuff. So you know, like cotton or cloths or metals, things like that. But there was a notification to listen to.
I just received word from dispatch that a phone call was made about gunshots in this immediate area.
So that's Helga telling us that, you know, there were gunshots somewhere in this area, and we're gonna check it out. We're gonna look into it. So here we go. This is sort of kind of a tutorial type of thing going on, where we, you know, just ask you to move a plank over and make your way into this area. And so in Grimsey, I also wanted to try to tap into the you know, Icelandic culture and history, you know, a little bit, and that's you know, hopefully it comes through. But there are you know, things like this right here, which is a painting of the Nordic goddess Ran, who you know, in like the old Viking lore, she's the one who would come up and basically, you know, any sailor or fishing vessel that was up there, she would, you know, cast a net and pull them down and drag them down into the deep, you know, sort of like collecting souls. And let's get our flashlight going. So the flashlight actually has 3 levels of intensity and, you know, area. So and there's some art that's fallen, and this here is so this is part of the game as well, that there's a rendition of the Viking Nad Arneson losing his hand, and the Dodenkammer in an altercation with an ancient giant great white shark. So this game actually kind of centers around 2 treasure hunting companies that are looking for a special Nordic or, you know, Viking artifact, which is an axe that's very valuable. And the game is about 2 treasure hunting companies that want to find it, and they're, you know, kind of competing, and they have some history together. And yeah, so right here, this is not long after Nad Arneson found the Dodenkammer, he became a Jarl, and this chair was created in his honor. So it's just kind of, you know, hinting at Nad Arneson. And, you know, there's some other, you know, Mjolnir, some other stuff, just kind of fun stuff to read about there. So one other thing that, you know, I wanted to do in this game is to have the cast be an international cast, so just having people from all over the world and voices from all over the world, as you know, that's like me growing up. You know, I grew up in a military family, so we traveled all around, and, you know, got to meet a lot of different people. And then I was looking to, you know, reflect that in the game a little bit. Okay, so let's open the door. So when I opened the door, it showed me that there, you know, it's more, you know, data or things to inspect, you know, in this room. So we'll do that. We'll take a gander. All right, so yeah, and so like whenever you enable the scan, it sort of has the objects that can be interacted with. You know, they kind of fall down, so they, you know, hopefully it stands out more. I thought it would stand out more, so kind of went with it. So let's check this out. So a flash recorder, kind of by this time this would be antique. This would be old. So fingerprint from a 34-year-old female. All right, you know, what's a flash recorder doing down here? Yeah, trace from hard plastic and metal material. So yeah, someone put a flash recorder down here to record audio, and I'm just gonna act like I don't know why. So let's interact with this thing. Decode audio fragments. Rotate the audio decoder until it faces the nearby electronic device. All right, so we'll do that.
You're losing a lot of blood.
It wasn't my fault. It really wasn't.
I didn't mean for this to happen, Anna. I'm sorry.
Just tell my son I love him. I'm sorry if it didn't help.
Keep breathing, Anna. Look at me. Hello. I just heard 2 gunshots. I'm getting help. I'll send my location. You're losing a...
All right, so that's the, basically that's the, you know, the phone call that somebody made to report, you know, 2 gunshots, and someone named Anna who, you know, is dying here. So, oh, so one thing about this that I just wanted to mention, this audio decoder, is the inspiration from this comes from there's a really cool YouTube video that talks about how vibrations in, you know, like creating a record, you know, it's like recording vibrations. That there's in the video they demonstrated how they could record vibrations from like tinfoil or foil, and that those vibrations could be used to recreate the sound of what was in the room at the time. And this is a expanded version of that, you know, where anything sort of electronic or metal or whatever that could contain information about sound is used, and, you know, AI is used to enhance. And so that's basically what the audio decoder is. And this is just a song from WB. This song was also composed for the game. And it's actually named, A Lover's Complaint is the name of a rap album that I made with my brother and my friends many years ago when we lived in Japan. So yeah, whatever. So let's move this. Let's keep moving. So we're moving stuff, and so find a first aid kit, of course. So let's see what we got. There's a laser ablation mass spectrometer. This is also, you know, borrowed from research, where there's a, I don't know the technical, you know, way to convey this, but, you know, a mass spectrometer to look at the surface of something and to find irregularities, and just the detail of it at such a small scale was really cool. So it's a sci-fi game. I thought, yeah, let's go for it. Let's try it. So, and this is how it's conveyed here through this sort of nano screen here on the right. So we found some DNA from Anna Adler, of course, and traced from a durable, waterproof plastic material. So, you know, something, yeah, something waterproof and plastic. Move. Okay, so let's move this. Get that over. Something here. A British passport. Interesting. And it has trace from a glass bottle material. Okay. So, you know, either the passport touched glass bottle, or, you know, some other, that's likely what happened, but, you know, there's a bottle there. So let's scan here.
It's money you're after. That's not an issue. What are you doing?
All right. Okay, each primary scene needs the perpetrator, motive, reason, weapon, instrument, and crime scene markers specified before ending your investigation. All right. Perpetrators can be found by investigating smartphones, biotraces, and audio fragments. Motives, reasons can also be found by investigating smartphones, biotrace. Okay. Weapons are found by investigating physical evidence, right? And then scene markers can be dropped near any evidence. Make sure to choose evidence that is relevant to one or more primary scenes. All right, so we have Anna, deceased. You can see two gunshot wounds there. Found in lighthouse basement, 2 gunshots. Right. Traces of brass were found in the sweater, and we can't assign anything. I mean, there's some physical evidence here, but we really can't assign anything. And up at the top there, it says low RFB confidence. RFB stands for Remote Forensics Bureau. And so this is a primary scene. We found a body And this is how the investigation sort of starts. And we've gotten a notification for another couple of audio.
One bullet passed through the abdomen, another passed through the 4th and 5th rib cage in the chest. Time of death is approximately July 12th, 2075 at 12:50 a.m.
Right. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic there. So Johan is giving us some info on this side.
We'll inform Anna's family. We need to find who did this.
Right. So Anna, she's here, and we don't have much. We know she was shot. So if I look here, we've got a phone here. Each smartphone may contain important information, including identities, motives. There are 12 apps on each phone. Some may need to be broken into. It's sort of a mini game type thing. Open each app, try to gain as much info, and then you can hover over any icon that, or avatar that basically indicates a person and get information that way. So hovering over Anna gives me female. She's 44, German. She's wearing white cotton and white denim, and her only prior is trespassing. But she was the founder of Hunters for Hire. So that's Hunters for Hire is one of the treasure company or treasure hunting companies. So, all right, nothing there. We go here, and I always mess these up, but I'm gonna go like that. All right. So, Iceland artifact information from Adriana. Ben. Hey Anna, following up upon yesterday, I asked a friend to look into a Mary from the home office, and they did not find anything. You might be right about this one. Okay, interesting. So Anna's likely had to deal with people. There's some the calendar for the week. Some more chatting. So in this little puzzle, the thicker the line just means the more times you have to go across it. All right, so just keep me out of everything. I'm done. That goes both ways. Stop calling and harassing me. That's not me. And why would I? Especially now of all times. You know exactly why. We all made a decision we have to live with. If you weren't so drunk, you could have jumped in and saved him. So they're still, these two, Anna and somebody else, are still rehashing something from the past. And that's pretty much all you can get from there. And so here's the Dodenkammer, an image of it, and you know, some bids in an auction house. Yeah, so 33 million as the top bid from an anonymous bidder. What else do we have? Antiquities permit. Oh, an antique revolver that Anna bought for a lot of money. And then you know, your health travel document. And then this one's important. This is voicemail. So that's oh, I'm not gonna get this right. I think I got it wrong again. It's pretty sad. There we go. So voices, when kind of revealing an identity or finding out who people are, you need to, you know, uncover their voice, their information through, you know, texts or biotraces, which we'll see in a second. But in this case,
what you did was inexcusable. Everyone will know the truth.
So this person is unidentified, which is interesting. And I'll just say that it's something that you can reveal, basically. So we have John Gray.
Stop leaving these stupid messages. I know it's you. Leave the past in the past and move on!
36. He's from the text message that we saw earlier.
Don't listen to what anyone says. There's folklore around the Durden Comma, but it shouldn't dissuade us.
It's Helen. So likely, Helen is... Well, actually, it says it right there. Helen is a Hunters for Hire historian. John Gray is a Fortune Awaits founder. So John Gray is the founder of the other treasure hunting company. And then let's go to this one.
I got a message from Home Office about you. They're doing background checks.
All right.
I spoke with Thomas, and I think he's on our side. It might be the edge we need.
Very cool, Cecilia. So one thing that was really fun about this is finding the voice actors and you know, doing the casting for it, and just hearing everybody's interpretations of you know, the lines and things. It was really cool, and just it was actually really great to work with, you know, all the individuals here. Because it was just, you know, a good back and forth, and just hearing different accents and things. It's inspiring, actually. So there's Anna with little baby on the bed. Anna in the mountains or hills, I guess. And Hunter for Hire, that's her crew. Bournemouth Beach. Okay, now this is interesting only because it was, you know, 9 years earlier. 2065 basically. And so yeah, this is an interesting sort of an important image, I guess, to the case. And sadly, no heart rate. And then what's this? I messed it up. Yep. So I'm gonna go there. Nope. I'm awful at this. No. Gosh, it was so easy. So this is just a map of the and it looks like I can't enlarge it, so that's something that I'm gonna fix for the release, because you should be able to see what this map is clearly, but at this resolution. I'm actually playing on my laptop, which isn't that powerful, so I'm running it at a low resolution as well. So let's keep investigating. So we got pearls, likely fell off of her neck. And there's a fiber rendering, so there's fiber from Anna on the pearls, not surprising. And then pathology from blended linen and cotton fiber materials, so some sort of materials that are on two objects. We have the flashlight here, and fingerprint from 34-year-old female. Interesting. It's not Anna's fingerprint. It's somebody else. Female, actually, yeah. Fingerprint from John Gray. Okay. That's nuts. John Gray with a fingerprint on the bullet. Ballistics from old black painted steel material. Black painted steel material. And that's ballistics. So, a black sort of gun. This gun is black, but black painted steel material. So let's go here. DNA from Anna Adler on this gun. Interesting. Let's go here. Trace from paper bag material. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe the gun's in a bag. Was kept in a bag. Anything else in here? think that... Oh, let's try this thing.
You're late? I have the money. Do you want me to count it? What are you doing? You're late?
Okay.
I have.
So that was the audio capture of the real audio capture of the encounter that happened here. The primary scene, that cinematic that it showed, that was actually an AI recreation of what the AI thought might have happened. So it's not definitive, and it's something that you can use for your investigation, as part of it. And that's just that's sort of world building, just showing that these things are recreated. So from here, this is another thing that I wanted to do, is just to let, I'm going to switch it to daytime too. I'm going to toggle time of day. So one thing that I wanted to do was so in Forest Grove, in that game, there's just one time a day, or actually there really isn't a specific time that is critical. It's in the morning. But in this game, I wanted to have 2 different times of day to sort of get immersed in. And here it's saying device detected nearby, so there's something related to the time of day nearby. So I'm pointing at the screen, of course you can't see it, but on the bottom left there, it's kind of flickering back and forth. So if I go here, so there's a, I'll get closer so you can see it, this biotrace. So I'm gonna make it night for this, and
we can name ourselves Pirate's Booty.
What is it with you and treasure hunting?
It's fun. It'll be the 3 of us. We'll get rich and travel the world.
Oh, please.
But first, a swim.
This is not the place to go swimming.
Oh, you're a warrior. We'll be fine. Right? Warren? Warren?
Warren? Warren!
Warren! We can name ourselves Pirate's Booty.
Alright. So that's a biotrace, and in Forest Grove, there, that was the first version of the biotrace, but they were sort of still, static models of the characters in the game. And in Grimsey, I just wanted to try to, take it up a notch and have animated, short scenes to convey, the world better. That, if we look at this biotrace again, there's actually one detail that it is important, and it's the timestamp. So it's 2062. That's actually 12 years before. So that's very important to one of the cases. But I'll just leave that as that. So yeah, and this, having an open nanodeck, it it was just something that I just like the idea of being able to start the game and go wherever you want. You could start the investigation over here. You don't really have to start at the lighthouse, but as you're investigating and going on, everything should add up pretty much no matter where you start. So, hopefully that comes through. But I am going to go, there is a bunch going on underwater as well. You know, so the treasure hunting companies, you know, they have resources and they've got things, you know, underwater, and they're in the process of finding, you know, information about the Dodenkammer. So let's...
I think there's a cavity near the ruins.
Is there a way in?
The rocks facing the ruins are bolted to a rail.
I saw someone surfacing from the backside too.
Damn it. We're going to have to time this right.
Should we move our schedule up?
Maybe. Finish up and we'll make a decision.
I'll start transmitting now.
I think there's a cavity.
So, you know, they found something underwater where there is sort of an entrance into an area. And if we, you know, scan here, you know, we can see that we can move this. What's over here? Oh, it's the Nanodectron. This appears to be connected to ropes and pulleys under the sand. Oh, and so there's like this shaking going on that I can hear. So that there was an earthquake recently, and that's part of the reason why a lot of the lighthouse is messed up, and some things, you know, underwater are messed up. But we've got something here. It's a rare Viking helmet. So something about this that something I learned about these Viking helmets is that they didn't actually have horns on the helmet back then. Sorry, there's a fingerprint from Ben and a fingerprint from a 29-year-old female. So Ben had, you know, discovered this on a dive likely. But anyways, the helmet, they didn't have horns on the helmet. So that was something that was added, you know, later through, you know, imagery and all that. I just thought it was kind of interesting. So I'm kind of just wandering around here. Let's take a look at this. What is this? All right, so this is a top half of a skull, an upside down skull of a fox placed atop a pole to send a curse to whatever it is facing. Yeah, so this is something that I learned that you know, the Vikings did. You know, was sort of sending curses through skulls, upside down skulls, and in you know, this case, it's pointing at something. So you know, let's go straight here. I'll try to keep it straight. Let's turn the scan on. Oh, there we go. So here, so a curse is being sent. Here, how big is this thing? So this jaw is pretty big. An ancient jaw of a great white shark. It appears as though it may have died from a spear being thrown into its mouth and stomach. 2 front teeth are missing. So this is basically, you know, the AI's interpretation of what you're seeing. And what do we got here? It's a skull, but not just a skull. There's like a severe injury to the top of the skull. So another victim, another primary scene, but in this case it's a cold case. I mean, literally at the bottom of the ocean here. A 1,277-year-old skull has been found with a depressed skull fracture on the forehead, and it's assuming it's Ned Arneson. So And this is through, you know, information and all of that. So, you know, through the earthquake or whatever, perhaps the skull was, you know, shown. But we're now at a stage in the game where we've, by interacting with biotraces and a smartphone, we can look at, you know, potential perpetrators and motives and reasons. And the motives and reasons, they those occur, you know, in biotraces, audio decode fragments, as well as smartphones through text messages. If you text something that's could be incriminating, that could be a motive or a reason. And then of course we've got physical evidence. And something that I just wanted to do to make this process a little easier is that little link, the red icon there. It basically tells you if these two are in sync, basically, as far as like that motive comes from this person. Now in some cases, well, actually, I don't want to give away too much, but you know, there may or may not be a motive. There may or may not be a perpetrator. So yeah, I'll leave that as that. And you know, we'll put a marker here, just, you know, for fun. And over here, we've got a ceremonial Viking helmet on this ship. So Ben Werner also found this little guy. Hair from 1,277-year-old male. So, you know, perhaps Ned was wearing this helmet on this ship when it went down. So let's go back up this way. Actually, is there anything out here that we can look at? Oh, so let's... I didn't actually investigate that. So something that, just a little handy tip, when there is in the mind map screen here, you know, I didn't even really talk about the screen yet, but you can transport LOD. So you don't have to backtrack, you don't have to fly all around the place to get someplace. You can just come in here, transport LOD, you know, exit out, and voila, you're there. But you can also transport to, you know, specific locations that show up in the mind map. So even underground, you can transport yourself there. But let's take a look at the mind map. So the mind map, you know, as I said, allows you to kind of see the environment from a bird's eye view. But at the top of the mind map, you know, there are ways to filter, you know, things to investigate, so you're not really just lost all the time. So I've right now there are 5 audio fragments, and that's at this time of day. If I, you know, change the time of day, you know, there's different biotraces and audio fragments to find. So, you know, we can filter, and the mind map will just show you, you know, basically like here's an audio fragment, and, you know, here's a biotrace. So it's a way of just filtering what you want to see in the mind map. Yeah, locations, and there's one special case thing here. So smartphones, primary scenes, and it's this person's view. This is something added, you know, more recently, and it's sort of a snapshot, a way of seeing every identity you've encountered in the game, and, you know, the information for those identities. So yeah, and then, you know, zooming in and out, time of day, transporting. Yeah, so that's, you know, the mind map. But the real fun, I hope, is the, you know, connecting, you know, kind of leading you down a path like this gun, you know, we saw. Let's, you know, add a connection there. So if we see it leads back to paper bag materials. Oh, the AI found paper bag materials, over here. And what was the other place? Over here. Oh yeah, so it links to the nearest biotrace identity. So Anna is associated with that gun, and so this, biotrace is, the closest biotrace with Anna, and those are the two things. So if we go here, and go here, we can scan, and sure enough, paper bag, trace from pearls. So that's, the pearls. The pearls are associated with this bag as well. And if we go into the mind map and do that, it goes back to the pearls. And if we go to the pearls, it goes to blended linen and cotton fibers, and as well as to Anna. But this, let's go here. Blended linen and cotton. Oh, okay. So money. Fingerprint from Anna. And pathology from pearls. All right. So you kind of just keep going and going. I did want to, kind of go over here and look at this.
Can you tell Anna what you told me? It's believed that Doden Calmer is responsible for a lot of
voice recognition. Adriana Edwards.
I thought you went into this cold.
We'll talk later.
The value is up towards the tens of millions, and I want to put out there we could pay a much lower price, with far more people benefiting from it.
We'll make that decision when we find it.
Can you send me the latest graphic? Will do.
Great. So,
can you tell Anna what you...
they're talking about the Doden Calmer a little bit. Let's open this up. Let's get out of the rain.
Helen, is that you? My sensors are going haywire. I can't see a thing.
CompuBot. So, I was thinking, people would have, little either robots or whatever as companions in the future. So that's pretty much, what that is. Not a huge stretch or anything. There's actually a drone up here. Last surveillance image is from the previous night, 12:01. Someone appears to be on a raft near Fortune Awaits. So there's the sailboat out there and a raft with somebody standing on it. I mean, there's the raft right there. But yeah, let's go in here, and we can see, some like this image. So something I had fun with, I thought was fun, and hopefully it looks okay, is taking real images, that I've taken, or the friends have taken, and then adding 3D models into the images and trying to get the shadow right, and all of the the Photoshop stuff basically. So spent a lot of time on that, probably too much time, honestly, but it was it was fun to do that. Let's check out some of Ben's. So this is Ben's phone.
Hello, this is Mary from the Home Office. I'm calling about Anna Adler. We're doing a background check.
Oh, okay, so that's the voicemail that he received, that he emailed Anna about on Anna's phone in the email app.
Just ignore it. I'm sure they want money. They all do.
And Anna replied through voicemail.
Anna may be an important part of the case. Has she spoken about her past? Has she mentioned Iceland in any conversations?
Okay.
Did you talk to Anna recently? Why does she want us here? We should be farther out.
Okay. Cecilia is, yeah, she's the navigator, so, you know, she's thinking about where the yacht should be,
Did you
for
talk
safety.
to Anna
Oops.
recently? You're going to love this. Most people that went looking for the Durden comma have gone missing. Spooky.
So that's some extra layer of, you know, like folklore type stuff. You know, could be Goddess Run, could be something else. And that's actually something that I wanted to focus on quite a bit, is not do a typical investigation game. So in this game, there's some unconventional things, I think. So let me do this. So yeah, Hunters for Hire. Ben. Farm. Check his emails. Okay, I normally wouldn't do this, but this case is an exception. As I left on your phone, it's a basic background check on another. Need to ask you and your team a few questions. You were indicated as point for your team, so I thought I'd reach out directly. Mary W. from the Home Office representative. Yeah. So someone's trying to investigate Anna for some reason, and they're going through Ben for that. Okay, diving gear check, boat repair, Augu diagnostic, retrieve artifacts. So this Augu. Oh, let's go take a look at Augu. Motive, negligence from Anna Adler. Okay, so let's check it out. Anna, some negligence. I wonder if we'll find artifacts from the Arneson family. Okay, so she's, you know, not just thinking about the Dodenkammer, she's thinking about anything else. I think we will. It's tragic what happened to them and their daughter. That's part of the story. Even after all these centuries, and I can sympathize. You know, it wasn't quite hard to say this before. I'm very sorry to hear about what happened to your child. That's what a horrible ex can do. Once we find this artifact, everything will work out. So that's just something, you know, potential motive for something is she thinks of her ex as horrible and could be indicating something as far as, you know, what happens after they find the artifact. Definitely will. So, but let's go take a look at Augu. And I actually know where Augu is, so I'm taking a shortcut. Or where we can see him, I guess. I think he's turn that off.
My sensors are showing some unusual readings.
This is Augu.
Where's Ben?
My gravimeter is showing activity off the scale.
Could it be a submarine?
Negative.
Maybe it's the poles. Magnetic forces.
Negative.
Ben, where the hell are you?
My sensors are showing some unusual readings.
Alright, found unusual readings in the ocean.
My gravimeter is showing
So this is something that, you know, they've captured data or readings that are saying that there's something unusual underwater. Could be, you know, a whale, could be submarine, could be, you know, Coast Guard, could be anything really. But there's just something going on there. Let's see, what else do we have up here? This way.
The fact that the people have gone missing in this area has me a little concerned.
People have gone missing. So what? Happens all the time. Doesn't mean it's a curse.
What about the fishing vessel? It's just disappeared.
It was during a storm, so it could be anything really.
Or it could be a curse. Maybe we should leave the artifact where it is.
You and I both know Anna would not let that happen.
The fact that the
All
people have gone missing and this...
So just some rumblings about, you know, a curse, people going missing, and that's sort of, you know, an important element to this game. I wanted to see if I could, so medium, okay. Actually, I did want to leave some markers here. And when you look at a marker, it'll tell you what pieces of evidence are, you know, associated with it. So you can kind of see where things are. But let's head on this way and check out just a little bit of the sailboat here. Let's see what we got.
What's this I heard about a curse?
John mentioned it yesterday. It came up during research.
Any truth to it?
People have gone missing. Supposedly, an entire fishing vessel went missing.
Maybe it's a raging kami. A spirit who takes people.
It's possible. Or it's the ocean. And accidents happen. That's most likely.
What's this?
So, you know, in both teams, you've got, you know, some characters that think it could be something, you know, unnatural, and some people that think, oh, it's just the ocean. And, yeah. Let's take a look at this. It's a sonar detector. It shows a large object was detected underwater, heading westward at 72 knots. Now that may or... Oops, I hit the mic. Sorry about that. That may or may not be, you know, completely accurate, but that's pretty dang fast. On-site net. Oh yeah, capable. Let's take a look at... well, let's take a look at this phone. Did I do this? Yeah, I did it. Yes. It always feels good when you get it on the first try. William Gray. William Gray. So, 56. John Gray's dad, basically. How can you be so foolish? It's the last time I'll fix your mistakes. Bring the Dodenkammer and whatever evidence you have to Vik. A liaison will be waiting for you. Vik is a place in Iceland. You have 2 days. And this was sent at 1:25 a.m. And the subject was accident. Call father. Okay. Uh-oh, 2 in a row. Can't you find a place to discuss this quietly over the phone? I can't. This is compromising everything our family has worked for. Are you going to help me or not? So, yeah, I kind of just glossed over it. So William Gray is John Gray's dad. And, you know, or family member, could be the uncle, whatever. But, you know, he's Secretary of State for Defense. Well, it says William is the father of John. There you go. It's the father. Okay, are you gonna help me out? Use my encrypted email. Better if you get me out of this, I'll bring it to you personally. That's my word. So yeah, he tries email. So news: Viking artifacts are gaining in popularity. Find out why this culture and history are rising from the depths. And John Gray has got his diving certification, and he went to a firing range recently. So, yeah. Let's see this.
Oh, you're sending me messages. Do it again and you're here for my lawyers.
So...
Trust me. Yeah. You'll want to see what I have to share with you.
Alright, so that's a little bit more, you know, spooky.
These scanners from the wreck just below us. Emily wants to check it out. Fingers crossed it's something good.
Cool.
What's going on, John? Emily may have found something. We can't leave just yet. Call me.
Found the wreck. And also some ruins. Place feels off, but I think it's in this area. Should we lock it in?
Yeah, we should. So yeah, and the phones actually, the phones just have, you know, a snapshot of data at the time that information was captured for the case. So, and there are some like creatures and things to help, you know, with the world. Some volcanic rock, and let's see. Let's just see if we can move this thing. I always have to, you know, sometimes do it more than once. So this kind of a secret area. More sea life flashing in and out, and looks like, you know, an underwater cave, which, you know, if you're claustrophobic, this would be pretty much torture. Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't do this in real life, or at least I wouldn't swim in an underwater cave with scuba gear. Just a bit much for me. I've never tried scuba diving though, but so we have some statues here. So let's, and something over here, but let's see if we can't move this thing. To lower the shield. Okay, interesting. Let me see. Let me go back out here. Yeah, I don't want to get too far into it. Let's just go back here. So, yeah, this is the Curse of Grimsey Island, and I, you know, just wanted to, you know, share a little bit about it and a little bit about the process. You know, it took a little over 2 years to make, and we went through, you know, several iterations until finally arriving at this iteration. But yeah, I hope, you know, you enjoy it and kind of, you know, get to use some deductive reasoning to solve these 4 cases. You know, I tried to make, you know, 2 of them, you know, atypical, and hopefully it works out. Hopefully it's fun and immersive. And yeah, thanks for watching and listening, and I hope I didn't ramble on too much. But, and of course, I'm always open to any feedback. You know, there's a Discord channel for Mega Games that's on the Steam site, email, and, but yeah, thanks again, and until the next one.